we're going to talk about dividing fractions. We did a little intro to this yesterday, but I just want to remind you of our two main rules at the top. So I want you guys to look at those top two bullet points right here. So the most important thing to remember is that all fractions must be written as a proper fraction. You can't have any whole numbers or mixed numbers while you're doing math with fractions. So to do that, mixed numbers must be converted to improper fractions. So for example, if you had 2 and 1/2, you would do the backwards C, multiply here, 2 times 2 is 4, add here, 4 plus 1 is 5, so it's just 5/2. All right, and then if you have a whole number like 6, you just got to put a 1 underneath it like that. Then the rule for dividing fractions, some of you guys remember this from last year, but it is right here. We call it keep, change, flip, or KCF. So let's look at that with this. So 3/10, I'm going to make that even smaller. So my 3/10 divided by 3/5. What we're going to do is we're going to keep the first fraction, change the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction. So we keep 3/10, we change division to multiplication, and then we flip the other one. It's called the reciprocal whenever you flip a fraction over. So 5 is now on top, 3 is now on the bottom. So we just flipped it over. All right, and then the next step is to just multiply like we normally would with fractions. So I'm going to multiply 3 times 5. That's 15. And then multiply 10 times 3, which is 30. So now I have my fraction. Now what I want to do is I want to look at my fraction and see if I can simplify it. So 15 and 30, I know they can't both be divided by 2, so next thing I like to try is 3. They can both be divided by 3, actually. 15 divided by 3 and 30 divided by 3 is possible. But let's see if I can keep going. Can I try 5? Yeah. Can I try 10? No. Can I try 15? Actually, yes. Both of these can be divided by 15. So 15 divided by 15 is 1. 30 divided by 15 is actually 2. So my final answer is just 1/2. That's in simplest form. So my answer is 1/2. All right, let's look at the next one. So there's something I have to do to fix my problem before I start solving it. My 6 is a whole number. Remember, I cannot have whole numbers. They must be written as proper and improper fractions, no mixed numbers or whole numbers. So I'm going to write my 6 over a 1. So my problem is 6 over 1 divided by 3/4. Now I can do keep, change, flip. I'm going to keep my 6 over 1, change my division to multiplication, and then flip my second fraction. So 4 over 3 is my new fraction. Now I'm just going to multiply like I normally would. 6 times 4 is 24. 1 times 3 is 3. That's an improper fraction. So I want to see how many times 3 can go into 24. 3 can go into 24 8 times. And 3 times 8 is actually 24, so I have nothing left over. That means I'm not going to have a fraction off to the side of my 8. So my final answer is just 8. All right, let's look at my next one. I have to fix this one as well. So my 2 and 3/4 is a mixed number, so I'm going to have to turn it into an improper fraction. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 2, which is 8, and then I'm going to add 3. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. And then I just keep the 4 on the bottom. And then I have to change my 5 to a 5 over 1. Okay? Then I can do keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep my 11 over 4, change to multiplication, and then flip to 1/5. All right, now let's just multiply straight across. 11 times 1 is 11. 4 times 5 is 20. And then let's check, can I simplify that? Nope. 11 can only be divided by itself in 1, and then 20 can't be divided by 11. So that's it. 11/20. Okay, so please make sure you have that first one done. Now I would like for you to actually pause and try the rest on your own. This third one right here might be the most challenging. So just pause it here and then try them on your own. When you're ready, hit play. Okay, let's try 7/8 divided by 1/2. So I'm going to keep, change, flip. I'm going to keep 7/8. Change to multiplication, and then flip to 2 over 1. Now I'm going to multiply straight across. 7 times 2 is 14. 8 times 1 is 8. Then I'm going to see how many times 8 goes into 14. It only goes in one time, and that's 12, so I have 2/8 left over. But 2/8, not quite done. So my 2/8, these can both be divided by 2. So my 1 stays the same, but my 2 divided by 2 is 1. Oops. Hold on. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Go away. Hold on just a second. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So it's 1 and 1/4. All right, the next one I'm going to keep, change, flip. 3/4 stays the same. Change my division to multiplication and then flip. So now it's 5 over 4. And I just multiply straight across. So 3 times 5 is, 15, sorry. 15, and then 4 times 4 is 16. And that cannot be simplified. 15 and 16 cannot be divided by the same thing. So it is just 15/16. All right, for the next one, like I said, it's a little bit more challenging. We had to turn these into improper fractions first, so it had an extra step. So 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Keep my 4 on the bottom. And then 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Then I'm going to do keep, change, flip. So I keep, let me use a different color. Keep my 17/4, change to multiplication, and then change to 3/4. Okay, then I'm going to multiply straight across. So let's do 17 times 3 out here. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So I have 51 times, and then 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, that's an improper fraction. So let's see how many times 16 goes into 51. All right, I know 16 times 2 is going to be 32. Let's try 16 times 3. This is 18. Perfect. All right, so that goes in 3 times, which is 48. And when I subtract, I get 3. So I have 3 and then 3/16. Let's double check. Can 3 can only be divided by 3. 16 cannot be divided by 3, so that means I am finished. All right, so 3 and 3/16. Okay, then we're going to walk ourselves through these word problems. These are a little bit challenging, so pay attention. So a piece of thread is 11/12 inches long. Jenny needs to cut the thread into 1/6 inch segments for a project. How many segments can she cut? So we know that she has a piece of thread and she's trying to cut it into segments that are only 1/6 inch, and we're trying to figure out how many she can make. So this is a division problem. So we're taking that thread that is 11/12 and dividing it into 1/6 inch segments. So we're going to keep 11/12, and then we're going to flip. We're going to change that to multiplication and then flip this right here. All right, 11 times 6 is 66, and then 12 times 1 is 12. Then I want to figure out how many times 12 goes into 66. I know this one. I know that 12 goes into 66 5 times because 12 times 5 is 60. So then I have 6/12 left over. But both of those numbers can be divided by 6, so I'm really left with 5 and 1/2. So 5 and 1/2, she can cut 5 1/2 segments. And yes, there will be leftover thread. All right, because she can really cut 5 segments, there will be half an inch left over. All right, John would like to serve his guests 3/16 of a quart of orange juice. If he has 7/8 of a quart of orange juice, how many guests can he serve? So this is how much he has. This is what he's working with, his total. And he wants to split that up into this. He wants to split it up into 3/16 quarts. And he wants to know how many he can make. So there's our division problem. So I'm going to keep the first number, change to multiplication, and then flip the other one. All right, now I'm just going to multiply straight across. So let's do 16 times 7. All right, so we have, big number, 112 on the top, and then 24 on the bottom. Goodness. All right, so I want to see how many times 24 can go into 112. All right, let's try. So I know that 25 times 4 is going to be 100. So let's see 24 times 5. Let's see what that would be if we get close. All right, 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 2 is 120. All right. So 24 times 5 is 120. That's too much. Let's try 24 times 3. 72. Oops, that was too little. Let's try 24 times 4. 16. 4 times 2 is 8. That looks like about as close as we're going to get. So it goes in 4 times, and this is 96. So when I subtract, I get 16. So 4 and 16 24ths. All right. So both of these can be divided by 8. All right, 16 divided by 8 is 2, and then 3 is 24 divided by 8. So it ends up being 4 and 2/3. Goodness, let's work. All right, 4 and 2/3 is our answer for that one. So really he can only serve 4 guests, and there will be leftover juice. So 4 guests with leftover juice. All right, so please make sure you have all of those notes filled in, and then you'll have some practice on the next page.